What if I told you a Formula One team just spent $80 million to beat Red Bull without touching the engine? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what McLaren did. They've developed a classified system hidden inside their rear brakes, one that's so advanced it's being called F1's version of a luxury Swiss watch. Elegant, precise, and outrageously expensive. And here's where it gets wild. Red Bull found out. They got their hands on thermal spy images from the Japanese Grand Prix, and what they saw was never supposed to leave the garage. But here's the real twist. What if I told you this breakthrough wasn't even built for racing? It was adapted from technology used in $50 million military jets. And now it might force the entire grid to redesign their cars mid-season. When Piastri and Norris started casually beating Ferraris and putting pressure on Red Bull, it wasn't just talent. It was technology wrapped in carbon fiber, built in a facility that looks more like a Tesla R&D lab than a traditional race garage. This isn't just about F1. This is about how McLaren is bringing aerospace-level innovation into a sport where every tenth of a second can cost you millions in prize money and sponsor deals. And the core of it all? A braking system so advanced, Red Bull's lead aerodynamicist called it the most elegant solution I've ever seen. So what exactly is it? McLaren engineers design a multi-channel airflow system built with ceramic-coated carbon fiber that redirects heat away from the rear tires. But here's where it gets luxurious and lethal. They embedded micro-pressure sensors connected to a silicon-based valve system, custom-built and rumored to cost over $400,000 per unit. This means the system doesn't just cool brakes. It reads the temperature in real time, self-adjusts airflow, and keeps rear tires in an optimal performance window for longer than anyone else on the grid. And in a sport where tire degradation can cost millions in championship points, that's the kind of upgrade sponsors like Google, Dell, and OKX pay top dollar to keep in-house. But if it's that effective, why hasn't Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull copied it yet? Are they behind, or just afraid to cross the FIA's line between genius and illegality? To understand how this all started, we need to go back to a disaster. In 2022, McLaren's season nearly collapsed in Bahrain due to a brake cooling failure. They overheated, tires melted, and their sponsors were furious. But instead of patching the problem, McLaren went nuclear. They hired aerospace engineers from Rolls-Royce, invested over $80 million, and built an internal task force called Project Silverwave, dedicated solely to brake and tire thermal systems. Fast forward to 2025, their brakes are so efficient, their rear tire temps are 15 to 20 degrees Celsius lower than the competition after 5 laps. That's not just performance. That's engineering dominance with a luxury price tag. So now that Red Bull has seen the images, will they try to replicate it? Or is this McLaren's billion-dollar moat too deep and too complex to cross? But here's the secret most fans don't know. It's not just brakes. McLaren paired their cooling system with high-efficiency ERS mapping, less heat, more recovery, anti-lift rear suspension that improves grip without overworking the tires, and an ultra-low center of gravity made possible by 3D printed titanium parts. Something Mercedes experimented with but abandoned due to cost. The result? A car that's smoother, lighter, and runs cooler in hot conditions. And on high-deg tracks like Miami or Mexico City, it gives McLaren a luxury advantage worth millions per race. So with this tech now exposed, will FIA close the loophole? Or will this force Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull to burn cash just to keep up? So now the question isn't if the rest of the grid will copy McLaren's million-dollar cooling secret. It's who's already doing it in the shadows and how far they'll go to catch up. Because if this is just the brakes, wait till you see what Ferrari's been hiding inside their front wing. And trust me, that one's even crazier.